Hi everyone, welcome to the Strip Down to Love podcast video where the essence of love comes from within. I am your host, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining me here and being here with me and G-Money. So G-Money will be with us, and again, I do want to let everyone know again that if you hear farm animals or farm things going on, that's what is going on in the background. So today's podcast comes to you because of many feelings, ideas, and thoughts that have actually provoked this podcast. So in the last podcast, I don't know if I shared that I started a new job, same career, but in a specialty, and currently so far I love it so much. So it's made me grow, it's made me think and just bring out certain things in me that I didn't think that were possible to were even there, but this job has definitely allowed those thoughts, ideas, and things to percolate, and I'm so very excited. So, so you'll hear G-Money. Maybe he'll jump down, he'll get bored. You should be up higher, G-Man. You can be in the camera view. Alright, so let's not delay and let us start with our beginning meditation. You probably will hear some snorts, but let's calm our hearts. Take a deep breath and just feel the energy around your heart energy point here. And I'm using this meditation as well to help me calm down, because it's the early morning and you're getting up and ready and loving every moment of the sun with gratitude. Take a deep breath in and out. Allow your mind to go to a happy place that you're looking forward to creating here in this space, here and now. And welcome and be open to welcoming that energy, that environment just for you. Breath. And if you're worried about anything, allow your worries to drift off and hold in your heart that everything will be just fine. Feel the love in your heart. If you are ready, we are gonna start, and give yourself that permission to be here, to be present in this space and in this podcast. All right. So here's a little bit of the background story about how this podcast was created. So for work, I was asked several questions, about being a nurse practitioner and being in the healthcare industry, taking care of patients, and like what work, goes into being a nurse practitioner. And long story short, I came up with this this idea, and I feel that it can also be presented here on this platform, on our platform, on my platform as well, because I think it's applicable not to only people in the healthcare industry, but to just everyone in general. So I came up with, what is one piece of advice that you could, give someone when they're moving towards their best self, when they have strong desire to satisfy their higher selves and to do soul growth work. So one of the pieces of advice that I think is applicable to everyone is that wherever you go, bring your highest form and definition of self-worth. So always be open to defining what self-worth means to you. Have a base for it, a foundation, and this foundation doesn't move. It allows to being open to new thoughts and to thoughts that make you feel good, but the basis for it, which was created through experiences and through the darkest times in your life, don't necessarily change, right? Germany, we can see your ears in the camera. And so it's not about picking up your boundaries and moving it to accommodate someone else's idea or perspective. It's about holding those boundaries firm and building upon them. But it's never about breaking down those walls or those boundaries, but it's definitely about adding to it. Because when we don't have fixed boundaries and we don't keep them fixed, we're always moving them side to side, back and forth, in order to accommodate, I don't know, like it can be a person, it can be a culture, it can be a society, but it's not allowing you to grow. It's not allowing you to do the inward movement of happiness. So people with a strong sense of self-worth, it can be strong, but it can also be like people with a high sense of self-worth. People with higher sense of self-worth are attracted to, gravitate towards opportunities, situations, and even attract those type of situations and opportunities for themselves to be satisfied, to feel wholesome, to have that internal love inside, which is feeling satisfied, and having your soul feel satisfied is one step towards true happiness. I know that, we're always talking about true happiness and finding that. Well, to me, true happiness comes with boundaries, having the ability to say no, having the ability and knowledge, or even having that strength to realize that this is my boundary, because these boundaries allow me to go inward and to grow my soul, which is my step towards true happiness and self-love. Again, like I always say, it's not selfish, and I want to remind everyone, because I'm a giver, right? I love to give, because to me, in that in my mind, that is how I express my quote unquote love language. And well, this is a whole other story. But then if you're a giver, are you a receiver? And do you mind you come? We can hang out together. Oh, he's busy doing something. So, if you're a giver, you also want to check, are you a receiver as well? Or do you push away your opportunities? But this is that can be a whole nother podcast in of itself.